Hi, I'm James Sedley, and welcome back to the Living in Savannah channel. As we pass the midpoint of the calendar year a couple of weeks ago, I turned to thinking about how it might be useful to look at what has happened in the landings real estate market through the first 6 months of the year and perhaps make some comparisons to where we stood a year ago at this time. Before diving into those figures, let me thank you as always for tuning in, sharing, subscribing, and liking. Certainly do appreciate that and hope you'll continue to do so. And I encourage you to reach out if you are thinking about buying or selling a home here on Skidaway Island. It would be my pleasure to talk with you and investigate if it makes sense for us to work together. With that said, let's turn to the numbers. As we look at the sales in 2025 through the end of June, there were 140 landings homes sold during that period this year, which was 8 more than closed in the first half of 2024. Those 140 sales this year have come at a median selling price of $900,000, which is an increase of $62,500 or 7.5% increase over the median selling price during the first half of 2024. While that was a fairly significant price increase, the median dollar per square foot closing price rose just 1.4% from $294 to $298 per square foot. Finally, these homes stayed on the market 40 days on average, which was 3 days longer than they lasted in the first half of 2024. So what's this mean for potential buyers in the landings going forward? And to a lesser extent for sellers. First, from a broader perspective, all of these numbers still lean toward more of a seller's market than a buyer's market, though that imbalance continues to lessen as inventories have generally fluctuated around 50 home listings at any given time in 2025 so far. Second, it is worth emphasizing that these are median figures, and there is a lot of variability within those numbers down to the individual home level. For example, even though the median days on the market before going to contract was that 40 days that I mentioned, 33 of those 140 homes that sold went to contract in a week or less. In other words, if you see something that you think meets your needs, you're going to want to be prepared to move quickly, as there is a good chance it meets someone else's needs as well, meaning it may not be there for you if you wait too long. At the same time, know that the days of bidding wars and frankly crazy buying friendlies are generally a thing of the past. Did see a bit of this past week with the most recent listing of mine where we had multiple offers, but that's definitely not the typical, shall we say here, but they happen now and then. While 18 of those 140 homes that sold closed at a higher price than their initial asking price, almost twice as many, 34, sold at least a 5% discount to the original asking price. But only 5 of those sold at more than a 10% discount. So bear that in mind when considering how aggressive an offer you might want to make. I hope that this look at the first half of 2025 has been useful to you. And if so, I hope you will consider reaching out to me directly in the second half of 2025 to discuss your particular real estate needs if you haven't already done so. Until then, thanks again for subscribing, sharing, and liking, and I'll look forward to seeing you in the next episode.